Dan Wheldon and Honda looking for back-to-back wins for the first time in the Indy Racing League. Just a mile and a half to go for Dan Wheldon. 22nd time in the history of the league, if he can just make it around this last lap, that a driver has won from the pole. Last guy to do it was DeFerrin at Texas just last year in the final race of his career. Dan Wheldon. They don't come any more likable, and now he's notched his first victory. Dan Wheldon takes the win. Kanaan second. Elio Castroneves takes third, followed closely by Darren Manning, who finishes in fourth. Crowd's loving it. Scenarios. He's got a very fast Mira right behind him, and then he has two Penske cars breathing all over Mira. Castroneves in the fight. Sam Hornish there to help if it's needed.
Your pace, Dan. Your pace.
Wheldon
Mira.
Got to get on the throttle. Got to carry speed. Coming on at 3 and 4.
Green flag.
Green and white flag come out at the same time. Castroneves closes up on Mira. Mira tries the low line.
Mira played it smart. Tried to make him go around the high side, but he's carrying the speed.
The yellow light was still flashing as they came through turn one. Now they have it off. Wheldon holds on. Castroneves around Mira. And Dan Wheldon takes the win. Second of the season. Fourth win for Andretti Green Racing.
Good on you, Dan. Way to help me.
I'm not.
Excellent job, boys. Andretti Green.
I'm really not sure, though, what happened there, because when we looked down to turn one after they took the flag, the yellow was still flashing. The light was, even though the green had been given. And you wonder if Mira saw that and backed out of it. And that's when Castroneves got him, or whether or not it was a valid racing pass.
Well, you go when the green flag goes, and a bad situation if that certainly happens. But here comes a celebration.
But he won it, got the lead on a pit stop, and then won the race as the white flag is displayed. 1 lap to go. The final lap of competition at this racetrack as Nazareth will close at the conclusion of this event this afternoon. Danny Wheldon is about to pick up his 3rd victory of the year to match that win column of Rice and his teammate Kanaan. So Wheldon picks up the win here. Kanaan goes second, Franchitti third, Rice will take fourth, then Castroneves, Manning, Fernandez, who really hurt himself on that restart, back in 7th, and there's Michael.
Yep, you can tell they're pretty happy down there.
He didn't give any room to Vitor Mira in that yellow car on the high side.
The white flag is out. Dan Wheldon is on the final lap of the Toyota Indy 300, and Tony Kanaan continues to keep them at bay as his teammate runs out in front. As we look to 2004, Dan Wheldon did this plenty of times for him, but it is Dan Wheldon who is coming around as he enters turn 3, coming out of turn number 4. This will be Dan Wheldon's 4th career win, and Sam Hornish is trying to get it right. Your winner, Dan Wheldon, picks up the victory to open up the series in the battle for second as they come to the line. We know for sure that it's Dan Wheldon, and it looks like unofficially Sam Hornish Jr. will grab second, Tony Kanaan third. Vitor Mira checks in at 4th. An unbelievable finish as Dan Wheldon brings it home.
That should be okay.
He should be okay, but
he should be able to make 38 with, but they've had well, 38 without any yellows, which should be okay.
But Herta's run 36 already, so he's going to have less fuel than anybody else. So maybe that's the reason he's slowed down a little bit.
Well, final lap.
Well, Michael knows right now.
It's going to take a mistake on Wheldon's part. It's Wheldon's race to lose.
Kanaan actually made a mistake there about a lap ago as he was trying so hard to get around Wheldon to catch him. He got a little bit sideways back there in the back part of the course and cost himself 3 or 4 car lengths. So now he has no opportunity to win this race unless Wheldon makes a huge error.
Well, Wheldon began the season with a victory at Homestead. Comes back to Florida, to St. Petersburg, and is on his way to a victory here and a clean sweep for Andretti Green. As that last lap, Herta had about 7/10 of a second lead over Mira. So catching a driver is one thing, passing is something else. And again, he may be conserving some fuel, as you seem to indicate, as he comes onto the runway the last time. And there is the checkered flag, and Wheldon takes the victory. Kanaan goes second. Where's Wheldon going here? They're all stopping on this front straightaway. We've never seen this before either.
Wow.
White flag is about to wave here at Motegi, guys.
Here is the dash as the white flag comes out, and a familiar face in a familiar place. Dan Wheldon, who won here last year, and a yellow flag comes out, and Dan Wheldon.
Man.
And there's a car in the wall on 2, and is that Elio Castroneves or Sam Hornish Jr.? It is Elio Castroneves.
Very rare for him to have a crash. We'll have to find out what's going on, but you know something, this plays into Danny Wheldon right now. Race pace has slowed. We saw Vitor Mira going underneath him in turns 1 and 2. Remember, Vitor Mira is way behind because of being inside the pit box for such a long time. Checkered flag.
Checkered flag is out. Your winner, Dan Wheldon. He picks up the victory once again in Japan. He rolls the dice, and it comes up Yahtzee. Dan Wheldon, the 10th time in Indycar series a driver has won in consecutive years at an event. 13th win for AGR, 6th career win. We talked about the last 365 days for him, and for that man, the exact opposite. Does it get any worse?
That's when you get fuel starvation.
All right, don't let him by. You stay right there. Don't let him by.
Precious ounces of fuel in that car for Danica Patrick as she has slid back now to 4th place. Her shot may be over, but her story will certainly be told from days to come for what a tremendous performance by Danica Patrick as we check in with Dr. Jerry Punch.
Guys, 2 words down here: fuel pressure. Fuel pressure, and they're watching it. They're not sure if she can make it, but they're crossing their fingers, and those are the 2 words everybody is saying: fuel pressure.
And that fuel pressure comes from,
Yellow,
there we go.
Turn 3, crash turn 3.
Well, I think we might know the outcome of this one right now. There goes the white and the yellow at the same time. And Danny Wheldon, don't want to say who I picked there, Todd.
I know, I got to give you credit. And it's not a Gilles de Ferrin. You didn't wait till the white flag to call it, but there's celebration right now in the Andretti Green Camp. Climb Tools and Jim Beam, the folks down there. 26, the number 26 has never won the Indianapolis 500 until this day in 2005. The yellow flag is out, the white flag is out, the final lap. They cannot change their positions. Dan Wheldon will lead them around, and there you see the frustration on the face of Danica Patrick's face. Vince Welch?
Well, Dan Wheldon has won 4 of the first 5 races this season, but most importantly, he's won the Indianapolis 500. And Michael Andretti, you have won the Indianapolis 500. Congratulations.
Wow, I'm still in shock. Unbelievable. Dan drove a hell of a race. You know, the whole Jim Beam, Klein Tools team did a great job. Honda giving us a great engine. It's just unbelievable.
I know it's not as a driver, the one that you really wanted it as a driver, but can you just put it into words as an owner what this win means to the Andretti family?
It's just incredible. It's such a great feeling. It's right now it feels as good as I think if I would have won it myself.
Let's go upstairs, Todd.
Thank you, Vince. Congratulations, Michael. The checkered flag is out in Indianapolis, and the pubs are open in the UK. Dan Wheldon has just won the Indianapolis 500. Not since Graham Hill in 1966 has an Englishman tasted the milk in Victory Lane at Indy. And that all goes away. The celebration has begun for Michael Andretti. Something he couldn't get as a driver, something his father did, the great Marco Andretti, and now Michael Andretti gets to taste the sweetest milk in the world. Your winner, Dan Wheldon, claims the 89th running of the Indianapolis 500.
Andretti Green Racing is that they have 4 drivers on the racetrack. So Danny Wheldon has 3 other drivers to actually gain information from.
White flag is out. Number 26, Dan Wheldon, out in front. He's got to bring this thing home. The 27-year-old from Emberton, England, looking for his 5th IndyCar win of the season. It is Wheldon to the line. Let the celebrations begin in the UK. Your lad, the Indy 500 champ, is back home in victory lane. Wheldon, 5th win this season, ties him with Hornish for the most wins in a season. His 8th career win. His first win, most importantly, though, since the Indianapolis 500.
They need to run in line, Todd, nose to tail, the two Penske cars, to help one of them push themselves past the front car of Danny Wheldon right now. Remember, that's a Honda power plant number 26 Toyota for Castro, Nevis, and Hornish in 2nd and 3rd.
We've got 2 laps to go. Dan Wheldon is your leader. He's the reigning Indianapolis 500 champion, trying to hold off Team Penske in the form of Elio Castroneves, number 3, and number 6, Sam Hornish. Both of them looking for another victory in 2005, but it's going to be a tough task to get around Dan Wheldon as they come out of turn number 4. It is Wheldon. The Toyotas of Penske decide to go high. Wheldon keeps the low line, and here comes Tony Kanaan on the inside.
Smart team movement by Team Penske right now. They're going around the high side the longer way. Will the drafting work and overpower the Honda power that's on the low line? We'll have to see.
Chicago breeds close finishes, and they are going to make it yet another one. It's Wheldon on the inside. Castroneves on the outside. Somebody wake the queen, because Dan Wheldon just walked away with the checkered flag.
That was unbelievable.
The pride of the UK racing community has done it again. Dan Wheldon picks up his 6th victory on the year. He sets an IRL Indycar series record for most wins in a season and climbs.
Starting to hop around the road a little bit.
Trying to break up the draft. Elio still hugging the bottom of the racetrack. He's telling Wheldon, if you want it, you're going to have to do it on the high side. And this time by 2 to go.
And it's hard for Castroneves to hold that bottom lane now. These tires are starting to wear a little bit. He's been running them awful hard.
I can guarantee you that last lap he'll be looking in his mirrors to exactly see where Wheldon is, and especially that run through 3 and 4 in that last lap where typically this race is always won.
We're coming down to the final lap through 3 and 4. You're on board with Dan Wheldon. There is the glare one more time. White flag.
White flag, white flag.
Does Dan Wheldon have anything left? If he's got it, he's got to pull it the trigger now. Castroneves lives in nearby Miami, has never won here. Here we go, down the backstretch. Wheldon on the high side, side by side, through 3. Who's going to win it? Coming to the home stretch. Castroneves on the inside, Wheldon on the outside, at the stripe. It is Wheldon. Wheldon beats Castroneves. His 10th career win, 2nd straight here at Homestead, and again, heartbreak for Elio.
I couldn't believe it. Wheldon on the outside by a foot. Now we knew that outside of that turn 4, man. Hey, give me 5 of that one, bud.
I told you.
You called it, Scotty. You did. Amazing run out of Wheldon. What a race here at Miami Homestead Speedway today.
That last lap, 215.1 miles an hour. Nobody lifted. I know one thing. I need to take a break because I'm out of air.
Listen to how calm he is, though. He's
He finished right there, and these, in the order they're running right now, it would be a tie at the top of the championship, but based on his 4 wins this season versus the 2 now for Wheldon as the white flag comes out, the title would go to Penske and Sam Hornish.
Dixon's not going to give up.
Dixon's still going to try on this last lap to get this top spot away from his teammate.
It looks like the fast part of the racetrack has moved up, and Dixon just can't get enough of a run out there. And Wheldon wants to win bad enough that he's using up a whole lot of racetrack.
There it is. So Hornish takes the championship.
Well, Roger Penske is a very happy guy right now as he and Chip is sitting there saying, you know, we won the race and we were so close, but we just couldn't win that championship. Boy, you know, it's pretty amazing when you look at his face and he's not streaming with happiness because he knows
at the speed, and he's the quickest one out there.
Ironically, last year, as he gets the white flag,
Last lap.
he led only 8 laps on his way to winning. Now he's going to lead 179 if he just makes a couple of more corners. It'll be the 4th consecutive season with a race win. It'll be his 3rd consecutive win here at Homestead, Miami. And it's going to move him into 2nd all-time on the win list behind Sam Hornish Jr. with his 12th career win.
Excellent job, boys. Excellent job. Great way to start the championship. Proud to be part of this. Proud to be part of this organization. Engineering staff, fantastic job with that contestant. We get excellent.
You heard him
Carlos
on
in
the
the
radio.
very rear of that group and running by himself. Yes, there's some cars up in front. Probably a little bit of, we call that disturbed air, dirty air coming off of it, but without a doubt.
Nice job.
And
Great
as
job,
we come
Dan.
back, you see that Dan Wheldon crosses under the checkered, under
Everybody, good
yellow.
stops. Great stops, guys.
Becomes our first 2-time winner this season. His
Excellent
13th
job,
career
boys.
win.
Excellent job.
Moves him into 2nd all-time
Really well done.
behind Sam Hornish.
To both the number 9 crew and the 10 crew. Unlucky for the 9 crew, but fantastic job by Target Champions Racing. Proud of you guys. Thank you.
Only 1 lap remaining. Tough break for Tony, although he will score valuable points. Here comes the white flag. So it is 1 lap for Dan Wheldon.
Last lap.
He won this race last year, leading 177 laps. This year, he's led 48, and he'll lead the most important one of all. As he comes around for his 14th career win, he'll become the first repeat winner at Kansas. 2 years in a row, it's Dan Wheldon taking the checkers. Kanan comes across. Look at the battle here as we go back. Dixon 3rd. Who gets it in 4th? It is Castroneves edging Marco Andretti. Hideki Muto in 6th. Ryan Briscoe 7th. AJ Foyt the 4th. Rounds out the top 8 on the lead lap. Remember that target Chip Ganassi Racing, as AJ Foyt is all over the 9 car of Scott Dixon. Ganassi Racing is going to give all their winnings to the Iowa Red Cross. With 1 lap remaining, the winner's check looks like it's going to go to flood relief victims, and oh so how appropriate. Into the 3rd quarter. You heard the call. Here comes Dan Wheldon as he brings it across the stripe to take the win, and Hideki Muto 2nd.
Great job, Dan. Way to bring it home, man. Great job. Excellent job, boys. Excellent job. We deserved a bit of luck. Happy birthday, old man. Whatever. Good birthday.
Happy birthday, old man. His 2nd win this year. His other victory, of course, came back at Kansas, the 15th of his career. Baguette.
Way to go.
Hildebrand has just gotten around Dario Franchitti while we focused here our action on our race leader. So now J.R. Hildebrand, who stopped at the same time with Dario, is in 2nd place. The rookie could inherit the lead. Here comes Baguette. Baguette is coming down pit road. There'll be 3 laps to go this time by, and J.R. Hildebrand is going to have the race lead in a nip-and-tuck battle. Right behind him is Dario Franchitti. Here they come down the front stretch.
And he just did a 2:09, so it looks like he's in fuel conservation mode also.
Franchitti, his last lap was 2:01. He is less than a second behind J.R. Hildebrand. 3 laps remaining. Let's go back and show you the pass. It was for 2nd place at the time. And now the 23-year-old rookie is in the race lead.
Only at Indy.
Next time by, 2 laps remaining. Rick, give us an update on J.R. Hildebrand.
Well, let's talk about what happened last year. That's what's significant. Dan Wheldon was driving for Panther at the time. Remember, he pitted early. He saved fuel at the beginning of the stint. As a result, because he saved fuel at the beginning of the stint, Wheldon was able to run fast at the end, at the very end of the race. They've done the same thing with J.R. Hildebrand. He pitted early, saved fuel at the beginning of the stint, so you have it to run at the end, and that's what he's doing right now. Could he be the next rookie winner of the Indy 500?
His last lap was at 2:16.
Well, Scott Dixon has gotten around, and so has Dan Wheldon. Dario Franchitti is 4th, so his chances look like they have faded for the year. Here comes J.R. Hildebrand. This fast time by. The white flag is in hand. 2.5 miles.
Come on, baby, bring it home.
Keep going. The 23-year-old from Sausalito, California. Listen to the crowd cheer him on.
And how fitting for the National Guard car to win if he can indeed do that. Has he got enough fuel to make it to the end?
Half a lap. He's got half a lap to go, and he's the Indy 500 champion.
Panther Racing, oh so good. They finished second here, twice here. They come again through the final two corners. J.R. Hildebrand.
Careful of traffic.
He's got to get around the lap. Traffic. 100 years. He hit the wall. Just like Thomas Schechter.
Keep your foot on the gas.
Dan Wheldon is going to win the race.
Yeah, Dan!
That is unbelievable. Oh, my goodness.
Wheldon, after finishing second the last 2 years, wins when J.R. Hildebrand hits the wall coming out of 4, just as Schechter did.
What a tremendous finish. And what a drive for Wheldon. I've been saying it all day, that outside lane is
I love you so much.
That was Dan Wheldon, if you didn't know. Absolutely incredible finish here at the 100th anniversary of the Indianapolis 500. Whew.
Driving for Brian Herta Motorsport.
Stay out on the track. Stay out on the track.
He becomes the 9th driver with 2 wins. And while he is celebrating, J.R. Hildebrand is aching inside. Yeah.
Well done, my man. Well done.
Let's go back and show you what happened.
We talked about being outside the groove, up in the gray. An experienced driver would have just throttled back a little bit and turned around and just got off the gas as you watch Dan Wheldon start to drive by. Look at this.
That's just 2 feet in the wrong place. And it's been happening all day long. He almost won it with 3 wheels.
Can you imagine the feeling that young rookie has?
And here comes the 98 to get past, and look at how close it really was. There is Dan, and there comes Hildebrand coming across the line, and look at the reaction, and John Barnes can't believe it, and neither can the rest of his team.
Oh, how heartbreaking. What a great drive.
Hildebrand is shaking his head, and he still crossed the line in second place.
Now, I'm sure that's a record.
You just won the Indy 500 again.
Let's take a look at Dan Wheldon's team. Look at Brian Herta with the headset on the right-hand side, fist in the air.